music isn't playing?
Huh?
Can you make sure my music's not playing too? It shouldn't be. Are we good? Is the fan getting picked up?
Hang on a second.
Sorry guys, I changed something in my setup, so we're trying to sort it.
Okay, your fan is not picking up. It's actually picking up the fan out in the kitchen more.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a surprise. Is it obnoxious?
No. I have the sound cranked up now. And I don't hear any music.
Okay, good. That got turned off. Alright. Okay. So we started a new tutorial that we're following along with. We are needle felting along with Bob Ross's Joy of Painting tutorials. Instead of painting, we are needle felting. We are trying to complete season 3. I don't know if we're going to be able to do all of season 3. There's, I don't know if we're going to be able to do the cowboy one. I don't know if I have enough colors. I have to still take a look at that, but we'll see. We've currently worked our way up to the 8th installment. The speed felt for the 6th installment is coming. I am still working on it. I've got 5 live streams left to cut down to put that together, so keep an eye on the YouTube channel. Same name as here. And that'll get posted when I'm done. And then I can start to work on the 7th one. We got the 7th one done faster than the 6th one. And I think I know why, going back and looking at the edit, because I did some extra stuff that I probably didn't necessarily have to do, but I did. Alright. Ooh, I am bound and determined to snap this stuff. Alright. So, last week we drew everything in loosely. Gave ourselves some guidelines here. And also realized that I have probably been stabbing too deep this whole time. So I'm trying to remember to surface stab. And we have the new felting mat now. As you can see from the different color underneath of us. And we're gonna try to keep him happy, and keeping him happy involves, you know, what we were doing before, picking the mat up every so often. And just making sure that we're not attaching ourselves to it. In a way that has no point of return, so it is Sunday. Link to the full Bob Ross tutorial for this episode is in the chat. If you missed it, let me know. We can repost it. It'll also be in the description box on the export to the YouTube channel. And for those that were around during the Husband's Planet Zoo stream last night, we did manage to replace his mouse. And we got me a different desk fan. So what I was using previously just wasn't quite cutting it. And it was getting really, really toasty over here. Which is what we were testing to make sure that this microphone wasn't getting blown on. I wasn't sure how sheltered I had it. And we were playing around with moving its location. So we'll see what all we can get done here today. I pulled a few more bags of color out. So we can figure out what would be the better plan of attack here. Do we want to do the black most of the way across? Or do we want to keep working straight across? Like, I don't know. Now the surface tapping probably also works a little bit better when you're using the roving. We're not using roving. We are using acrylic yarn. I mean, we have some roving, and it's not like we never use it. We do use it sometimes. But it's very few and far between. Because I just don't have a lot of it. To like do a full piece and like a full big piece. So, I mean, we're poking through. We're not quite as fuzzy as we were when we were deep stabbing, shall we say. Okay. Alright, so let's kind of keep working our way around this. I've picked up some like white fuzz. I think it was from the white yarn I had fluffed before I did this one. It's the only thing I can think of. I mean, we've got one cat that has a little bit of white fur on him, but he wasn't around when I was fluffing this set. He was off doing his own things. So we're gonna have some overlapping here for the colors coming in to this section. So this one might be a little bit more fuzzy, since we're just trying to not stab that deep. Just can't believe that cat had to knock that mouse off of the mouse pad. And it landed in the couple inches of water in the basin. At the husband's feet. He never tries to climb on the husband's mouse pad. Of course, last night he had to do it. Just the timing of it. I'm like, can we not get our shit together here? These cats have had it out for us the past couple of days. I swear. Let's get that unprotected finger out of the way. I keep trying to stick it in the way. That's not going to do me any favors. That's for certain. So I hope you guys are doing okay today. Sorry, this just felt a little too fuzzy. Felt not quite as attached as it could have been. And of course, because it's black fuzz, it's picking up like every little thing. So it's like extra maddening. But so far, our surface tapping, we haven't had too many thin spots trying to be an issue, so that's something. That's a little something. So we do have Bob's tutorial in the corner. It's going to be in pause a lot because I can't work nearly as fast as him in this medium. Hell, painting, I can only ever seem to go about 4 hours on his half hour. And that doesn't seem to matter whether it's gouache or oil. Now, we have not painted this one before. We haven't done this season at all before. That's partially why I picked it. It didn't have too much craziness happening, so I thought we could probably pull it off. There weren't too many black canvases in this one either. There was one in the beginning. So there might have been 2 so far. But I think we changed the one from black to like navy blue. Just to kind of fit with like the snowy vibe. Sorry, I needed to just take a quick look at what we were doing here. So I know we're still poking through the back, but we're also using, we're not using very thick felts, number one. So it's not like any fancy felt, it's just craft store felt, because that's what my budget said was okay. I know there are more expensive pieces of felt out there that are thicker and are 100% wool and all that, and if you have the budget to go for that, hey, go for it. I don't. But this whole series has gone to show that yeah, we can do this with the less expensive felt. I mean, we'll have a little bit more push through on the other side, but it can be done. It's not like you have to blow $20 for like 6 pieces of felt. That's kind of ridiculous. In my personal opinion, but I mean, it might work up beautifully, but my budget's like, bitch, who do you think you are? We ain't got $20 for 6 pieces of wool felt around here. We've got 25 cents a sheet craft store felt budget around here, so I mean, I'm sure it works up great. But we also aren't using the expensive roving either. What roving I do have is kind of cheap. It was like a multi-color pack that I had picked up just to see if I was gonna get the vibe for doing this and to test the waters out. And I still have a good deal of it, because then I switched to the acrylic yarn, because I can get more mileage out of the acrylic yarn than I can the wool roving, and I can get a lot more colors without having to dye anything. Now, this just was a better option for my budget and my sanity. Now, the acrylic yarn you do have to do a little bit more prep with. But for me to be able to do this no work within the money I have available, that's what we do. So it does mean that it takes us a couple extra minutes to get stuff tacked down or stuck into each other, and that's fine. That's A-okay. There's still a little bit of a section here that's not fully tacked in. I'm just trying to be a little extra patient with. I mean, eventually it'll get all tacked in because we've got some other colors coming in that are gonna sit around it. Okay. Fan's trying to blow everything everywhere, so I'm just trying to work in small clumps. It's a little bit easier. So this whole section here, this is going to be the color of the colors from the light reflecting on the clouds from the lighthouse. And we're just gonna kind of see how that lays in there. It's so maddening when I'm working with black and I see like all these other fuzzes come in that are different colors, getting caught up in the black. Maddening. All right. Gonna get those tucked over top of each other. And we'll come back down into here. And we'll start working this guy in. And see what we can do here. So that section I probably got a little bit deeper in the weeds on. than I was really wanting to, but that's okay. It's all good. No harm. Well, I guess we should really bring you over to the edge here. And again, we'll work on making sure that this edge of the lighthouse is cleaned up and straightened up as much as we can as we get there. So this is going to be a little bunchy in there until we get the fluff put in that section. I don't think it's going to cause us too much issue. I don't think it will. I'm not quite sure what this looks like so far, but we have our quick test run that we did with our colored pencils up there in the corner. So something similar to that is kind of what we're shooting for. We'll, you know, see how it goes. So yeah, I mean, we've got some fuzz here, but it's not the carpet that the other piece was. I mean, that could change though. We've got a lot of layers still to go. One second. Okay. Let's see about getting this next bit tacked into here. I'm going to take my time a little bit on the edge of the lighthouse here. I really don't want to lose that somewhat straight edge that we've got. So we don't want it to topple into the water. That would be bad. tell you, it's hot already. They actually put us under a heat advisory today. They didn't have us in one yesterday, which was a little surprising because our feels like got up to 105. Today, it said expect heat index values of up to 106, and I'm like, really? 106 is the threshold? Pretty sure I've seen you do them for 105 before. They are saying we have a chance of a shower or a thunderstorm this evening and tonight. Let's hope so. Okay. So I'm not looking too bad here. I mean, granted, we don't have that much tapped in, but we got this whole section. But for the size of the piece that we're doing, it's not a super fast, speed demon your way through it. Sort of thing either. Still a little loosey-goosey. Just a little bit. Okay, next bit of fluff and stuff. Okay. So again, I want to be a little bit careful with the edge of our lighthouse here. And we'll be able to clean him up a little bit when we go to add his color and stuff to him. it's just easier to try to make sure that we are as straight as we can get away with. Especially for me. So hope everybody's having a good weekend. Whether it was a good lazy weekend or if it was a good productive weekend, I hope it was a good one. Poor Mo's toes. All he wants to do is be outside. But it's way too fucking hot out. It's really much too hot for him to be out there for too long. Okay. Getting this all worked into here. You alright?
Uh-huh. Puppy's so busy circling me, he walked right in front of me.
That one started to get a little attached there. Okay. Next bit of fluff. Let's see here. So I'm just changing what I'm listening to. You guys can't hear it, sorry. We can't afford any copyright issues, but anybody who wants my playlist, you can feel free to ask me. Whisper me, DM me, whatever. Discord me. And I will be happy to give you the list. So that one got a little wonky. It's okay. We should be able to bring that back. Just realized I'm trying desperately to keep this above this line, but I need it to come down to like this line, because the black's gonna come all the way down. Doesn't necessarily have to come all the way down right now, but we might. Alright, I'm gonna pop this guy up. Just want to make sure that we're not getting too attached to that one spot there. The fan's moving the fluff around. Kind of have the fan sitting above me. Kind of sort of sitting on my tower. My PC tower. I'm hoping that'll help with the airflow around the PC too, because it gets toasty. Alright, so do I just want to... I mean, we probably should just keep bringing this guy down. It's gonna have to come down anyway. Even if we're not putting in the color just yet on top of it. Alright. We are moving right along here. Even if it doesn't really seem like it, we are. Still has to get done. Even if it is the boring parts first. I do have one thin spot sitting like right there. Like right in there, but that's okay. Because we'll get him all nice and sorted out here as we go. I prefer to work in smaller bits. Just so I don't have... Ooh, let's not stab thyself. Just, you know, because it gives me a little bit of a break to stop stabbing stuff for a second and look up and stretch and all that. Okay. We're a little cricket on the camera. We must have bumped something. Oh, I forgot. We've got the new map. I have a new placemat. I hadn't put it down yet. I was gonna put it down and then I was like, well wait, I want to save the other one for paintings, that way I've got one that's fucked up that we can paint on top of, and then the other one we can use for whatever that isn't gonna be super messy. Because I mean, it still functions. I think it's still a little loose. Just a little bit. Okay. So, I think Matt's doing pretty good. So that's good. Do have a slight thin spot trying to form right in there. So I want to try to make sure that we get that guy. Right now while I see him. Okay. Sorry it's a little bit more of a quieter day. Not feeling that great today. It happens. Okay. So that's not so bad. Kind of looks like a smokestack at the moment. It's not, I promise. It'll turn into something. Alright, so we'll get this fluff sorted. Bit of traffic today. Slightly surprising for a Sunday. I mean, we get, it's kind of always a bit of traffic, but it's a bit surprising when it's the louder traffic. Alright, so I'm just trying to work in our black background around our lighthouse first. Before we start to add the color in, and then this is our moon, and we need to work in our black near it. I'm not going to go right up into it because we've got some other colors that are going to be sitting around it, but we'll see what we can do. Like, I don't want to get too carried away filling in everything with black. It's going to end up getting covered up with another color. That's why I'm not filling in everything in this section. It kind of feels like unnecessary. For what we're going to end up doing there. Okay. Just trying to make sure everybody's as attached as they can be. Acrylic yarn takes a little bit extra fussing. Not too much, but a little bit. You okay?
Yeah, I'm just having gut problems. What am I checking? Am I still having my gut problems? What'd you need me to check?
Nothing.
You sent me a message saying to check your...
That was way
well,
before.
my phone just got it, so...
That was before I went live. Yeah, he's having a rough day today. I'm having a rough day. So rough days for him, he has a little bit harder time pushing through. So I haven't left too much black deposited on there. But we know how to clean this one. This one came with cleaning instructions. Well, there was a video on how to clean it on the purchase page on Amazon. So this was purchased, this wasn't gifted, this isn't sponsored, none of that. I know it says Wool Buddy on the mat, but it's on all of them, so it's not covert, badly covert product placement. Trying to find another place to get yarn from. I like Lovecrafts, I do, but I jacked the price up on my yarn on the paint box, and they don't have quite, paint box doesn't have quite the colors I'm looking for at the moment. I'm trying to get some like Southwest desert cactus kind of colors, succulent colors, and Paintbox just doesn't quite have it. So I think I need to either go back and check Joann's, even though I don't really enjoy ordering from them. I looked at Michael's. Didn't really have the colors I was necessarily looking for. I need like some warm browns, some sienna colors, some like rusty burnt orange colors. Kind of what I'm looking for right now, and like different shades of greens. Like I've got some dark greens, like we have some greens, but they just don't scream like succulent cactus colors to me. I need some like pistachios or some lighter shades as well, some like olive colors, avocado colors, like those colors I don't have. That's kind of what I'm trying to find now. I think I'm gonna have to branch out to another brand to find it. Possibly a different website. Okay, that feels pretty good there. Alright. Moving on. Or moving over, really. So we've got, need to overlap just a little bit. Helps if I'm actually in frame. Just a little bit. So I'm going to overlap a little just so we don't have any weird seams coming together here. Are you okay? Do you need to do the basin thingy?
Huh?
Do you need to set up the basin thingy?
The what?
The foot thingy?
Oh no, I'm good. What the hell are you doing, Ed?
What is he doing?
You just settled down on my desk. Awkwardly.
So he's making all kinds of noise over there. I guess Ed got tired of being in my mom's room because now he's back in here. Which means Little's gonna be missing for a while, so... Though I definitely know that Zuzu really only comes in to look for Russell. Because I had to get up to go to the bathroom at one point and came back. And Russell was in here for a while last night, and I went to get back into bed, and I like saw this little tiny tip of a tail peeking out from under the sheet. I was like, oh really? And then he left, and then he came back a while later, and he sat down on top of the sheet, and I tried to get him to get under, and then he finally settled under it with his nose like almost up in Russell's chin. It's like, oh really? Well, buddy. I am definitely last choice. It would seem. Okay, so I do need to we might advance the tutorial just a little bit. I have to figure out how far over our clouds are gonna be on this other side. Though since they're gonna be kind of cloudy, guys, I might just take this down here all the way over, so that way if there's any peaks or breaks, this color is gonna shine through instead of the gray. So we're gonna have our moon in here, and I think we're gonna go I think we're gonna go pure white on the moon, right? And then the denim's gonna come in around it, we decided. So we gotta figure out here. Trying to figure out where my scissors disappeared to. Okay, so here's figure out how far over all of this is gonna come here. So I think I want a little bit more of our black on this top edge. Just a little bit. We don't have to go too crazy. But I definitely want to make sure that we get our black in first. And be settled on where we want that to sit. Before we start laying in the denim blue around it. No, I think he went with more of a gray than a blue. To me, it looked blue. But now I'm starting to second guess my colors. Should it be gray? I don't know. Ah, fuck it. We're gonna go with our blue. We already have our colors kind of picked out going in that direction. It's not gonna hurt anything for us to keep going in that direction. Alright. So we've got this edge here. I do want to be a little bit careful with our edge. I mean, it's okay if we come over a little bit, because this whole side section's gonna get trimmed. But at the same time, I'd rather not have to do any major trimming if we can help it. Alright. So this guy tucked into here. We'll probably put a little bit more black on that side too. Just because I kind of feel like there should be a little bit more in between there. There was either a light blue fuzzy from the mat or there was like a white fuzzy in there. And it was bugging me, so I was like, let's just pop that out. More than fine. Okay. Get that guy all tapped into there. That's probably pretty good. Alright. Just a little bit more fuzzes. Okay. So I want to fill in here just a little bit more. I know we're gonna have some of that blue overlapping this, but just kind of feels like there should be a little bit more of our black creeping in. From over here, because I mean the red's gonna overlap a little bit on this outer edge, so I haven't decided how far it's gonna overlap yet, but the plan is to have it overlap at least a little. You have a real hard-hitting question for you. Okay. Can't promise I know the answer, but what are your thoughts on X? Thoughts on X? I think it's fucking stupid. It will always be Twitter to me. I will always say follow me on Twitter. I will always call it tweets. It's just fucking stupid. And I think he's intentionally trying to do everything he can to either get people inadvertently to pay for it so he doesn't have to, or to run it into the ground so far that he can just declare bankruptcy on the company and write it off and get rid of it. Those are my thoughts on it. I don't know how long it'll be around, but I think it's real fucking dumb to keep shooting yourself in the foot further and further and further when there's other apps that are starting to come out or in testing that are almost the same as old Twitter was. So what are your thoughts on it? I mean, I just think it's fucking dumb. Like, are they still limiting the amount of tweets that you can even see in a day, or did that stop? Was that temporary? Like, I don't fucking know. I'm not even on there as much as I used to be. I used to be on there, not 24/7, but pretty close to it, because I was monitoring the social media accounts for WoW Challenges. When I was modding for them, I was their social media manager for a good while, for a few years. And I was using TweetDeck to do that, and then they were talking that they were going to either stop TweetDeck or they were going to put it behind a paywall. I think they ended up putting it behind a paywall. It's just fucking dumb. I'm on Kofi and Instagram the most right now, and YouTube. And here. Holy shit, dude. You didn't need to do that. Oh my god. Vamp. What are you doing? Thank you. Holy fuck. Wow. Thank you. I appreciate that very, very much. Thank you. Wow. I didn't see you on Friday, but we are putting in a cafe next to the capybara exhibit that we are going to name the Key Vamp Cappy Cafe. as a thank you for the donations lately. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, we started building it on Friday. It's not quite done yet, but I still have to finish doing the decorations around it, make the sign for it and everything. Oh, it's fine. It's an easy way for me to show my appreciation. 100%. I was gonna put the cafe in anyway, so I was like, yeah, we'll just name it after you. That's fine. Because it felt like we needed something over there to bring the people to that section anyhow, so it's kind of on the fence back and forth about it. And the husband's like, you could do this. And I was like, yeah, we could do that. That's fine. Thank you very much. So, there can only be one. So Lord says, never really used Twitter at all. Anyways, you thought it was stupid. I mean, it's okay. It was okay. It was better. It's turning into quite the shit show over there. I mean, I actually thought he was just going to shut it down before and cut his losses, but it seems like now he's determined to just set it on fire and burn it to the ground. DMX tried to warn us. Yeah, I'm just like waiting for the day that I go to open Twitter and or fucking X as they're calling it now, and just have it not open or comes up to a page that says, it no longer exists. He said X is gonna get us. I mean, if Twitter finally completely goes, maybe I'll bring back my Facebook page. I don't know. Facebook's not much better right now, but I mean, people can get a hold of me through Whisper on here. I think my DMs are open on Instagram. I'm not sure. I have to check on that. But I also have my Kofi page. I haven't brought back my website yet. I don't know if I'm gonna. It's something else I gotta fucking update constantly and then set up to begin with. I was always so bad about updating it when I had it going for the Bloodthirsty blog. It's like there's never enough time to get everything done during the day. At least it never seems like it. But, I don't know, I'm on the fence about bringing the website back, but I'm like, I've already got the Kofi page, I've got the Instagram page, we've got the YouTube channel. I mean, people can whisper me on here if they really need to get a hold of me. Or Discord. I am in Discord. I'm in Zort's the Goblin's Discord right now. It's the only, well, I'm also in 9.5's Discord as well. Those are the only two Discords I'm in at the moment. I have my own Discord, but it's private. Because I was using it for notes. I set up my own private Discord to keep, like, links in and stuff for when I was editing the WoW Challenges website and stuff. So I would have to do a new one. That one's going to remain private. It was just easier to pop a link into there and then edit it in there to get the new one for me at the time. So I only had to delete like 2 or 3 characters to put the new characters in. Yep, that's your Discord trick? Yeah, it's easier. Especially for my dyslexic brain at times. I like to flip things around a lot, so it's just easier just to put the link in my own private personal one and just be like, okay, let me copy that link and let me put it back in the text block and what needs to come out. And then just hit enter and grab the new one. So many links to audio in there. Yeah, but I'm not doing anything for them anymore. It's kind of silly for me to stay and keep trying to do stuff if I couldn't play the game anymore, so. It helps when you need to transfer things from your phone to your computer, which you now have four phones or 4 computers. And that could be either. I could very much be either. Four computers. Yeah, I mean, I can see it. Laptops, towers for certain things. I can see it just to make things easier. Separated, less cluttered. Alright, so let's see here. We've got this guy over here. It's probably a little big for over here, but I'll probably get him worked into there. I mean, I really only have the space for the one right now. If I had the space, which I don't, I'd probably have one set up just for streaming, and then like in a craft room. We don't have a craft room right now, like an office craft room thingy. And then have another one that I do all my other stuff on. But then, you know, it's another one to worry about taking a shit fit and taking a dive, so. We'll see what happens down the road. If we ever change locations, we end up with somewhere that has the room. Maybe. We'll have a bigger streaming surface and bigger streaming desk area, and then have the non-streaming PC somewhere else in the house. But we'll see, because then that's 2 that I have to keep up with, although I guess the streaming one wouldn't have to be too terrible. But then again, if I'm playing games, I don't know. I'd probably be better off just doing the one. Just making it a little bit hefty. Might get another camera, though. You just build a test computer for your game with the same spec as the PS5. Oh, that sounds expensive. You have one computer for development, which is your main system, a laptop for testing, a computer for PS5 testing, and a mini Mac Pro 2. I've never used a Mac. Well, no, that's a lie. They made us the one computer lab that, well, not really computer lab, but the one language arts class I had, like in 7th grade, the computers in that class were Macs. And I always felt so lost on it. I'm like, but how do I get to the thing? I wasn't used to using it because we had an actual computer class that was with not Macs, like regular PCs, and I'm like, this is a pain in the ass because I didn't know the Mac system very well. Like, they were teaching us, like, they were, like, half-ass teaching us programming language, like, to draw stuff that would kind of, like, also animate. I don't know. I think Russell said it was in DOS or something, but it was so long ago, I don't fucking remember. All I know is that I made, like, a little box truck that was painted in that made it look like the wheels were turning like it was driving. That's all I remember. When we do the game, it's going to be PS5, then to Switch, and then to Xbox, and then to Windows, and then to iOS, and then to Linux. Wow, that's a lot of options, covering all the bases. That's a lot to keep track of. So I'm more worried about just making sure that we've got this filled in here. So that will be helpful there. I can get Momo all of the pillows next month. I have to replace the pillows in his box that he insists on sleeping in. We've gotten him like a regular dog bed before. My poor old gimpy puppy. He won't sleep in a regular dog bed. We started getting hay for the guinea pigs delivered, and they were obsessed with the box. And on a whim, we were just kind of fucking around, and we threw an old pillow that was kind of at the end of its lifespan in there, and the dogs were like, cool, thanks, and they like took it over, and I'm like, that wasn't really, that was a joke, you really weren't supposed to lay in there. And they're like, nope, I'm good, I like it. And I was like, really? So we like cut a little notch in the front of it, like a little curve, so that they could get in the box better. But the two pillows that are in there are like disintegrating, so now I can replace his pillows. I'm just glad he's as mobile now as he is. We really didn't think after he hurt his back that he was going to be that mobile again. And we really didn't want to leave him drugged out of his mind on anti-inflammatories and painkillers. Only once in a great while he needs a painkiller now, when he's having a really bad day. But he seems happy, he wags his tail. He's excited about stuff, so. He's my old guy. Gotta have the computers to do all that, yeah. Gotta run and get some work done. Well, thank you. You have a good day. Good luck with all your gaming stuff. And thank you again for the donation. That was wonderful. I greatly appreciate that. And Momo does too. We'll take a picture when I get the new pillows for him. We'll post it somewhere.
Could put it in your zoo.
The Momo Pillow Fund. All of the pillows for Momo. Make sure he's nice and comfy in the box that he's latched onto. Like, I can't get rid of this box now. It's a big box too, you guys. It had, I think that was the 40-pound box.
Yeah, we could maybe get a big heavy cardboard box from
maybe Lowe's
or something and cut it down to size.
But I don't know if he would sleep in it because it wouldn't smell like the guinea pig hay, although I doubt it still smells like the guinea pig hay now.
I'm pretty sure the only thing it smells of right now is mold.
Mold and Momo.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Oh gosh, it is still roasting in here. This heat, man. What's our temperature right now? It's 96 Fahrenheit. 96 Fahrenheit. What's our feels like? Oh, no, excuse me, it's 98. Windows 11, make up your mind. What's the temperature? Because you're telling me it was 96, then you're telling me it's 98, and our local weather station, our local news station is saying it's 96. With a feels like of 106. Ugh. Why do we have 2 severe weather alerts? Huh? Hang on. Oh, for fuck's sake, they issued one for tomorrow already. Oh, tomorrow our feels like temperature is going to be up to 108 Fahrenheit. Oh, goody. Oh, fuck this shit. I'm just... Why? Why's it gotta be so hot? Why does it have to be so fucking hot? I know it's the summer, but fuck's sake. We've been desperately trying not to put the AC unit in our window. I don't even know if it still works. I don't even know where it is. It might be out in our shed. Is this the one that we were working on? Yeah. Okay. So, how is everybody else today? How's everybody doing? Anybody else sweltering? Because I know I am. Ugh, my hands are starting to sweat. The fiber is sticking to my sweaty hands. Great. That's the worst part. How's everybody's weekend going? I need to get some stencils to see if I can get some stuff popped out faster, needle felting wise for fair, well, farmer's market. I'm gonna try to do a couple test pieces that are like our 5x5 squares. See how fast I can put them together. Because I know how long these ones take. Even if I wasn't streaming the whole thing, it would still probably take me maybe 3 weeks, and I can't charge enough to make that worth it in this size. But the ones that we are finishing on stream, I am going to take with us if we end up doing the farmer's market. And just see. Probably sell them for the same price that's on the Kofi page. I'm still going to be losing money on them. Well, I'm not technically losing money on them. I'm more than making back the money in materials. It's just I'd be losing money on my time. That's all. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to use the farmer's market as a test and see if anything sells. And then if it does, we might consider doing the craft fair. Maybe. The craft fair is a lot more money up front. Like, there's an application fee, then you have to pay your site fee. And that's if you make the cut, because they only want like handmade shit in there. Oh, stretch. So, see how that goes. Like, you have to send in photos of your stuff, and then the committee decides whether or not that you're approved to sell. But if we do that, then, you know, we need to have the pop-up thingy, we need tables, we need I need like table display stuff, or I have to make some table display stuff. That's gonna be a bit more of an investment. So that depends on a few different things. I don't know if I can pump out the little critters fast enough. I was thinking of, you know, trying to do some either flamingo pins. I think I could probably pop them out pretty quick. Or maybe some little desk lawn flamingos. Do I need to make you dinner tonight?
I don't know what I'm doing for dinner tonight. I'm having a bad day food-wise, so.
Okay.
I was actually looking around trying to figure that out myself.
Do you need to go get some cereal? I mean, I know it's not much, but it's not bread.
I just didn't want to spend money.
You can get it. I'll buy it.
For sure.
I should have enough to cover a small box of cereal. Yeah. Double check it though before you go. I feel like there should be.
Yeah, you got $20 in there.
Oh, I do? I didn't think it was.
I've got like $7 in the main account, so.
Use it out of mine first. Does down the street have some kind of cereal you'll eat? I mean, that or a pack of English muffins. Okay, then.
Butter, yeah.
I don't know how much milk we have.
Well, I was gonna be eating it dry anyhow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's that level of problem.
Well, at least it's something in you.
Yeah. Let's see if they got anything.
Because you need to eat something today. Oh, if you do it out of me, you're gonna have to do it as a credit.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it in mine.
Okay. We had to change my debit card because my last debit card, I don't use that account very often. And they like shut down my debit card, so I had to get a new one. They like deactivated it on me. And they put on a predetermined pin on it. Like, they gave me a pin. And I lost the paperwork that had the pin number on it, so now I have no idea what the pin number is on the card. So when that card expires, I mean, I guess I could go to the bank and just be like, hey, you guys like put a pin on here and I don't know what the fuck it is. I'll give you my ID, show you, it's me, I don't fucking know what it is. But, I just haven't. I'm like, yeah, it works as a credit card, it's fine. We're good. I just haven't fucking bothered. Get yourself a Gatorade, too.
Yeah.
It's nasty hot. he doesn't handle the heat well either. So I'm trying to make sure he doesn't make himself sick. If I had the time, I would run down to the store for him right now, but he doesn't know what he wants anyway, so we'd have to look. And I really don't want to walk in the heat. He'll take the car down. Hopefully he remembered his wallet. Before he gets too far, let me just check to make sure he's got it. If he gets the message. His phone is so stupid with Discord. Sometimes he gets my message right away. And then other times, it could be like a half an hour while we're in the same house. Like, that's why when he came in earlier, he goes, "What did you need me to check on?" And I'm like, look at the time on that message. It was before I went live. I wanted you to check to make sure that the fan wasn't blowing on the microphone, creating like a wind noise. And you already did it. He goes, "Oh." And I don't know if he got that message. Alrighty, so we'll get this all tucked into here. Like, we're actually have like almost all of the lights off in here. I only have the streaming lights on. Oh, we need to turn the crab tank off. Their light didn't get turned off yet. It doesn't help that we've got like hat pads on the glass for the crabs. So I mean that makes it a little toasty in here too. So that was a little bit of a gap in between those two colors, and I know I'm gonna have the other clouds and stuff around the moon coming in over here, but I don't know exactly where they're gonna sit, right? So it's just gonna be easier to come in and kind of fill in any gaps or splits ahead of time, just to make sure that we are looking pretty good. And we'll get this all worked into here. A little fuzzy out of there. So yeah, I think I've got 5 live streams left to cut down. It might be 4 actually. I think I'm working on live stream session number 13 for episode 6. Working on getting that cut down. Okay, so where else do we have a gap? We've got a gap like right in here. And I know it's not a very big gap. I'm saying gap. It's like barely the thickness of a piece of paper. But, just want to get all of this worked in. And I know I'm going back over some of the other spots here. But the angle I was on suddenly made it look like those spots weren't fully attached, you know? Alrighty. Alright, so we're trying not to stab too deep. I think I'm still, you know, we're staying on the surface because that's going all the way in, so I'm trying to have a light touch. I can be a little heavy-handed, so okay. Today, we'll at least get most of the black in, and then tomorrow we should be finishing up the black areas. And starting in our color. So we might start to put in the color around the lighthouse first, but then again we might do over here first. I'm not sure. I guess it doesn't really matter that much which side we tackle first. Like, not really. So I might have to come in just a teeny skosh on this edge. And we will see what we can do there. See how that goes. Okay. I'm pretty happy with where we're sitting today. Pretty happy. I would have been a little bit happier if we had gotten all of the black put in. But We're just about there. So we're gonna have the moon here, the halo around it, and then we've got some clouds that are gonna be hanging out in here. So like this is our horizon line, right? But then we've got a bit of water that's a little bit flat, that doesn't really have any waves on it. So that's what's going to be in between these two. And I was originally only going to go down to this line, but then I realized over there I kind of started filling in already, so I was like, well, I guess we might as well. Now I know we're gonna have those other clouds in here. I know that. I know a lot of this is gonna get covered with that other cloud, because it's like 3 different layers. Of cloud action happening. But right now we're still just trying to catch up with Bob because he's already got his canvas already set. Now we could have done this on a black piece of felt. That is true. But I don't think it would have quite looked right if we had just started plopping everything in on a black flat background. I don't know, just it didn't seem like it was gonna, because then, you know, it would be flat like the piece of felt, and then the other colors would be kind of sitting raised up on it on its own. I mean, it might have worked, but I just, A, I didn't feel like experimenting, and B, I don't know if I have any black that's this size. We have our weird wild colors. Our like multi-pack that we had first got. I still have that. But they're not cut right. I think the size on the package said 8 by 10. Did you find something?
I hope so.
Did you get your Powerade?
Yeah.
Drink that at the very least. Part of his anxiety is that he has trouble with food and eating. So if it even smells remotely, faintly different, then he can't eat it for weeks. And he already has a limited amount of what he will eat, so. It's tough. Meal times are always a struggle. My thing is textures with food. Certain foods I just won't eat because of their texture. I can eat raw apples all day. You give me a cooked apple? Nope, not happening. Which is so stupid. I don't like cooked fruit. It changes the texture on it. And I just can't do it, which makes me sad because I'm missing out on the world of pies and tarts and cobblers. But I just can't do it. Just scraping some fiber over there. I really didn't need to, because I mean I'm gonna have to fill this section in anyhow. But we'll see. We'll see how all of the things go. Oh. You know what? I think I got... Hold on. Where's... I think I got signed out of Stream Elements now that I think about it. Because the thing didn't go off. Yep. Just sitting here thinking about it, I never got the sound alert for the donation. That would be why. Well, one time, I didn't make sure that we were signed in. Like I said, I wasn't feeling the greatest when I was getting going earlier, and it's a little bunchy over here because we still have loose fabric in the middle. But that's okay, because like I said, this edge will eventually get removed. So that's why I'm okay with writing stuff over here. That's fine. That's gonna go away. And it'll be all okay. Whew. I hope you guys are staying cool if it's hot where you are, because this is awful. Just absolutely awful. Like my legs are sweating. That's how hot it is in here. I mean, the light above me is LED. That shouldn't be putting out too much heat. The other light's putting out some heat, though. My daylight bulb is being pretty warm, but if I turn it off, it's gonna get way too dark in here. We kind of need that guy. The ring light's just not quite bright enough to do it on its own. But it's a small ring light too. It was a cheap, on clearance, $10 ring light. It might have originally been $20. But I'm like, you know what, for $10 we can give that a shot. And it looks like it might fit in my workspace. It fits haphazardly and precariously perched on the top of my monitor because I've got no room. Eventually I want to switch out this desk. If I do that, then Russell will probably end up with this one. You okay? You okay?
Yeah, I was P-Bug.
Okay. Something fell. I didn't know where it was that it had fallen. The phantom noises. The phantom noises. At least it's not like 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm hearing phantom noises and I'm the only one up. That's worse. I'm like, what the fuck was that? I hate it when the cats start fucking around when the house is quiet. Because sound travels funny in this house, so like them jumping off of something that's slightly high with 2 rooms over sounds like a car door slamming outside, and I was like, is the car locked? Please tell me you locked the car before we went to bed. I mean, we have neighbors, but they're not usually out and about at that time of night. They're usually long since settled in. Right. You have to change the angle of that fan though. 'Cause the angle that I have to sit at to be on camera, it's just barely brushing the top of my head. I actually might try turning off my second monitor later today for a little while. Then this monitor's gonna flip its shit. And then everything's gonna try to move over, so maybe I won't do that. Technology gets so pissy sometimes. I'd love to know where all these little white fuzzes are coming from. There's so many! Like, I would have thought by now it would have just been solid black in that brush. I didn't think there was that much white that got left in there. And these are definitely white fuzzes. Unless they're gray coming off of this. That's entirely possible. Okay, so this doesn't have to be 100% straight on this bottom edge, but we're gonna try. Any luck?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just got some plain Cheerios, and that's enough to put some filler in me.
Okay. Who paid, me or you?
Huh?
Who paid, me or you? Okay. Alright. So we've almost got this filled in. Like, I kind of do need this to be a little bit straight though. But since we finished with that bit of fluff, we're probably gonna call it there today. And we will finish filling in our black over here and cleaning up this edge tomorrow. I want this to come in a little bit more. And I think I want this to be filled in just a little bit more, just to make sure that we're covered where this cloud bake is gonna sit. So that's the plan for tomorrow. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Try to stay cool if you're in a hot area. It's gonna be kind of tough to do. And yeah, we will call it there, and I hope to see you tomorrow for us to pick back up. And tomorrow we should be starting to add some sort of color in. So until next time, you guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for the bits, key vamp. Again, you didn't have to. I greatly appreciate that. And I will see you all tomorrow.